here on Eric Vane TV with a live after show for the season finale of The Shy. Thank y'all for y'all's patience and for waiting. I had to push this back now twice. From Friday, it was a little bit too late when it was originally scheduled. And yesterday, y'all, I just really couldn't do it. I was so exhausted. I've been freaking making videos behind the scenes all week, but specifically in the last 48 hours, I have been going hella hard, and I was just so exhausted, and I wanted to be able to come on live and give y'all really great energy and to be really tapped in. So I was like, listen, I'm gonna go ahead and push this live until Sunday, and alas, here we are. I'm going to give it a little bit of time for more people to come in now that we are actually live and direct. I know we have a lot to talk about. Y'all were like, yeah, we gonna need a live for this one, because I don't know what the hell Lena had going on over in the shot, but we gotta discuss all that went down, and it was a ton of things that went down. So come on in here, say your hellos, drop your ratings on a scale of 1 to 10 of the finale episode. But then also, if you want to rate the entire season, you could do that as well. Let me know where you dropping in from if you feel comfortable, and we're gonna go ahead and get it started. I still don't even know where to begin, but we gonna talk about everything. I will say this. I am very much so stressed going into season 7, and I haven't felt that way about a season of The Shy since probably Reg dying. Child. That season felt a little bit tumultuous, kind of like this. I don't think I have felt as like anxious and like, oh my goodness, what's about to happen next since Reg was on the show. Dang. I do think that they have had some really strong years of beautiful storytelling, but it has been inconsistent, I would say. Maybe. Yeah, inconsistent. Some storylines I really identified with, and some storylines I just did not vibe with. Hey, Adriana. Adriana said, Erica, it's okay. We understand. Let your body rest and get energized. Helpful for us. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. I really appreciate y'all understanding. Because, you know, your girl is doing her best, honey. Doing her best. If you are in here and you are watching, drop your ratings for the finale episode of The Shy. I do have a couple more videos that I'm going to make about it, in addition to going back and trying to break down the previous episodes that I did not break down. This season was all over the place for me, but the finale, I think, wrapped it up so beautifully. So that is what's making me motivated to like go and relook at the season as a whole, because all that went down is a lot, but it also makes sense, and I feel like it helps contextualize a lot of the things that I felt like were a little bit ill-placed or ill-paced in this season. The season finale feels like, to me, a really great bow on the gift that is season 6, I'm sorry. Season 7 is going to be on its way. While y'all drop y'all's ratings in, I'm going to pull up some photos as well. Hey, Virgo Queen. How are you, boo? We are talking The Shy, honey. I'm just pulling up some photos, y'all. Drop your ratings on a scale of 1 to 10. What do you rate the finale? All right, we'll start. We'll start with these. We'll start with these photos because this is plenty. Okay. My goodness. Where do we want to start, y'all? Do we want to start at the little periphery characters, the little inconsequential people, and the little periphery storylines that don't really matter if you ask my ass? Or do we just want to jump to the task at hand? I can't believe his ass did it. I ain't even gonna hold you. I am not even gonna hold you. I can't believe he did it. You know what? I'm gonna pick. We're gonna start with Keisha and Emmett. I like that. I like starting with Keisha and Emmett. I feel like that's a good place to start because their characters matter a lot. But it's not the biggest thing from the episode. Okay. Ciao. Virgo Queen gave it an 8.5, two jumping around to different houses, and Douda wasn't in enough scenes for this to be his last episode, and I wasn't ready for Rob to go just yet. I feel that. Adriana gives it a 9. Hey, Elizabeth Lassiter. Gives it a 9. I don't think Nuck is going to be able to handle being the next Douda. I was starting to like him, but that went out the window when what he did with Rob, just unnecessary. That's real. Hey, Lachelle. Alyssa Lassiter said I would give it a solid 9, but I'm wondering who's going to be the next big bag because it's been Douda for so long. Well, I think Nuck is trying to make it seem like it's going to be him, honey. Nuck said, don't even worry about it, sweetheart. It's going to be me. Let me just make sure y'all can hear me okay, right? I did a live stream earlier and all right, perfect. We're gonna start off with Keisha and Emmett. Child. I really, really, y'all, straddle the fence as it pertains to Keisha and Emmett. Because aesthetically, I like them, right? Like, in theory, I like them. But Emmett be stressing me out and pissing me off often. So I just don't know. Let me see. I need to move over here so it's like a little bit better. Okay. And these are just photos, not video. Ciao. Keisha found out that she's pregnant. Keisha, girl, like, this is a woman who is stressed, y'all. Stressed, okay? And I completely understand. Like, yes, she is in a full-fledged relationship with Emmett. He seems down for her. They have a house. But Emmett be making goofy-ass mistakes, goofy-ass decisions. And this is just the worst time for her to get pregnant. So, that is what, like, really sat with me in this episode as it pertains to her storyline. Now, I get it. There's never a right time to get pregnant, right? But now it's definitely not it. Like, if we were picking amongst the worst times, now feels like it would definitely kind of like be the worst time. And Emmett just be like, oh, everything is going to work out. Everything is going to be fine. You don't think I can have it? You've been saying you have so many things this entire season, and all hell has been breaking loose this entire season. You and Rob thought that y'all was Batman and Robin and went to go try to take out Douda, and y'all don't know what the hell y'all are actually doing. The car blew up, Emmett, a night ago. So excuse me that I'm concerned. Excuse me if I'm not fully like 100% like, yeah, my man got it. Because my man is simple. Bless his heart. And it's been some men replying to my my breakdown video, and they're just like, it's so interesting to me because men, or at least the ones that decide to come and say stuff to me or like post on my videos. I would love for more men to be within my community, but I think that the type of like accountability and self-awareness that I expect and desire from men rubs us the wrong way. Because even in the comment section, right, people like, well, Emma's fine, da da da, and Emma's gonna be this and Emma's gonna be that. It's like going to be and are just two very different things. And I think that men struggle with holding each other and themselves accountable because it makes them feel like less than, or it makes them feel this overwhelming guilt or shame around the lack that they possess. And that to me is what's stopping them from actually moving through whatever it is to get the thing that they're actually missing in this moment. People want to, like, in this particular moment, Kate, for Emmett, like, he got it, it's all good, when he has actually not been providing and leading the family in a way that's actually conducive for them to have a healthy family unit. And you can say that, and that's not hate against Emmett. I don't understand, specifically in conversations with men, and I'm saying that I don't understand because I live a lived experience of a black woman in America, right? And it's different for us. Like, me and my homegirls hold each other accountable. Me and my homegirls will say the thing. Me and my homegirls will point out, like, girl, like, that's actually not it. And, like, are you sure this is something that you want to do because it's giving this? Or whatever it might be. And to see, not only with this show, but then with other shows when male characters come up and they're falling short of various things. And then men be, like, fighting me on pointing out how the man might not be ready for the situation that he's in, how he made a mistake within the situation that he's in, or how he's completely missing the point of the situation that he's in. They immediately get defensive and take it like, oh, you're saying that this is the worst person in the world. It's like, no, y'all like live in these worlds of extremes and you never actually can go on the full-on journey to actually evolve through the thing because you're so stuck on like creating this false sense of you're perfect and you're not, and nobody was ever asking you to be. And it's interesting, I think that's the beauty of the Emmett character within this series, because he freaking actualizes what I just said a lot, like so beautifully and very clearly in the series. He has the best intentions in the world, probably in the last 3 seasons onward. He has the best intentions and he's trying, but also he is failing. And it's not to like kick somebody when they're down, but you also still have to be honest about it. It's not enough to just be trying. Sometimes the job needs to actually get done. Sometimes you actually have to be solid. Sometimes something needs to be completed. And if it doesn't, then we need to be able to say that. And it's so interesting to me that it feels like you cannot say that to black men without it being a whole thing that completely diverts us from the topic at hand and keeps us from actually having the conversation be progressive in a way that pushes everybody forward. Let me see what y'all saying. Hey Jerome, welcome in. They don't need any more kids, especially Emmett. Period. Um, but how Nuck shoot Douda, but then couldn't beat him with his bare hands. Kofi, I'm gonna open the Discord a little bit later, but also have to reset like what the Discord is actually gonna look like, um, because I'm certain things are just not gonna happen in this live that has happened in previous lives. Um, so yeah, that's my my thought on this. I think that Keisha is 100% right in being very concerned and very cautious and very worried. By the end of the episode, of course, she gets to a place of being happy, but even that, like allowing herself to be happy, because she's happy in this moment. But for Black women, like we got to prioritize our feelings, and like the priority shifts based off of whatever the circumstance is that we're living in right now. And it's so interesting to me because I think that this is beautiful about the Keisha character, especially what she has had to go through. She beautifully actualizes what I see as like Black women's dedication to survival. And you see us kind of like triage our various emotions, our various thoughts, and our various actions versus whatever we're currently presented with. So we can have competing emotions and competing feelings and a conflict within our feelings, but it's really just about what do I need to possess or address in this particular moment that's going to keep my ass alive or move me forward to thriving. And we be like so dropped in on this. So at the top of this episode, she cannot allow herself to be happy even though she is happy because of all of the context that come with this now potential burden of having a baby into the circumstances that they're actually living in. She does not feel safe. She does not feel like she can support her kids in the way that she would hope to. Like we saw that play out a little bit with Ronnie this season with his medical issues and being diagnosed with sickle cell and then finding out that Nuck is the daddy. Like Keisha went through a whole moment of like, why can't I help my baby? And you know, Ronnie is struggling a lot, but she can't do anything, and she's doing the best that she can, but it's out of her hands because she's learning certain things about his lineage and his genetics and all of that kind of stuff. So I think that that's a very real thing, and all of those feelings are coming to a head at this particular moment. And it's interesting to me that later on, when we do see her get happy, and they decided they're not going to tell anybody, but then she is allowing herself to be happy when she goes and tells Tiff. That part feels very like set up to me, at least for the audience. It feels like a setup because we know what happens to Tiff's partner, and we're going to definitely talk about that. But for me, I'm trying to unpack the meaning behind Keisha feeling most safe and allowing herself to be happy, specifically as it pertains to this news with Tiff. When Tiff is not actually a safe ground for her. Tiff is not actually, I wouldn't go as far as to say that Tiff isn't her friend. Tiff is a very complicated character that I have struggled with for so many seasons because I just did not, I was riding with mama until she banged the left and I was just like, girl, what the hell is wrong with you? But Tiff is not a safe space. So for Keisha to be letting her guard down a little bit and allowing herself to be happy only for us to be walking into season 7 and her kind of to get slapped right with the reality that one, Tiff is not going to be a safe space for you. This actually is probably a terrible time, but there's never no right time. And the continued external forces that are going to be precious on their relationship, how do they navigate that? I said something on a comment back to a guy who commented on my breakdown video, and he was talking about basically Emmett, and Emmett is fine or whatever, and he basically reworded what I said in the video to make it seem like I said that Emmett was like a terrible partner and wasn't doing anything. And I said, I did not say that. I said that Emmett is not doing enough. And I said that Keisha has had to teach him a lot. I personally have been uncomfortable with the amount of labor Keisha has to exact in this relationship. And that has been so that she can bring Emmett along. Good man or not, well-intentioned or not, Keisha is ahead of Emmett in so many areas of their lives. And she has had, and that has come up in her having to pull him along and get him on board and fight with him in certain ways to be better. And while some of that just comes with relationships and it will happen, it's really hard for me to see and to be like, to fully accept it and be like, okay, cool, because I have already lived through the normalization of like men have to do the least, and I've already been in relationships where I've been the one doing the most and doing everything and not being met. So I am naturally like, I want us to have rest, I want us to have peace, I want us to have stability, what that we don't have to fully create the environment for ourselves. And I think that that's also something that's weighing on Keisha, and it's going to be her repeating that cycle in season 7, even though again Emmett has come a long way from where he used to be. But just because Emmett has grown doesn't mean that he's now fully aligned and on the same level as his partner. It's just that he's just trying to catch up. And I don't even know, like I'm trying to think of what he could do to catch up quicker. I don't know. I have no idea. Let me see what y'all are saying. Monica M says men want to praise men who are half stepping or aren't there yet. Tiff is her only friend. Is she? I mean, Fatima. I feel like Fatima could be characterized more so as a solid friend, a more stable friend. Because Tiff has already shown herself capable of being very self-serving. Like when she tried to double back on Emmett. Was that season 5? Was that last season? Virgo Queen says she knows Tiff might try to get back with Emmett, so she can't let her think or feel that there's doubts in her relationship. Ooh. But then my thing is, then why... I get the co-parenting and the blended family thing, but she's the first person that you shared with outside of your mama and Emmett. Like, why is that the case? That to me signifies that this is a very important person, that it's a person that you trust or feel safe with, but then you don't feel safe enough because you still have to put on and you still have to like let her know like there's no chance. Like, absolutely the hell not. Monica M says Emmett has done a lot of dumb stuff. Emmett just started to mature but still doesn't think things through. Yeah, he's definitely on a journey, and I definitely acknowledge that. It's just he's not there yet, and it's going to take him a while to get there. And unfortunately, he's already partnered with an amazing black woman who's going to continue to suffer at the hands of his actions and his mindset, because he's not where she would necessarily need him to be. And I feel like saying that is just me saying the truth. But I know that some men are probably listening to it and like, well, no, and what the... And it's like, yo, like, let's sit in whatever it is for what it is. Like, how can you fully address and attack, you know, whatever the shortcoming is, whatever the weakness is, whatever the area of opportunity is, if you want to act like it's not there? Monica says Fatima is a lot older. I didn't say Tiff is a good friend. That's true. You didn't say she was a good friend. You said she was her only friend. She is her toxic friend. Got it. That's so true. That is so true. Kofi says, I think Emmett is doing the best he can. Has he made mistakes in the past? Yeah, but for the most part, I believe that he has been a decent partner with Keisha in the second relationship. Feel free to disagree. I don't disagree with that. I think my issue is that men particularly only want to focus on that. Like, you cannot speak to... Emmett has a lot of growing to do, and he needs to do so at a more rapid pace than what he's currently doing, as he's about to welcome in, what is this, his 6th child? Like, that is my thing. Kofi, you do it often. Like, you do it a lot. I know that you're a resident optimist, but you do it a lot as it pertains to men, and you kind of give them get out of jail free cards as it pertains to accountability for their lack of maturity, their lack of self development. And for me, it's just, you have to be able to sit with who you are. Like, that is the work. And it's so interesting because navigating the internet and seeing, conversation like the gender wars that are happening, right? And men versus women in this way and that way. The conversation points that come up specifically from men, it to me is just a constant skipping of the actual work that a lot of specifically Black women, because I'm only going to speak about me and women who are in community with me, that we don't actually get to do. Like, the Erica that you guys see before you is only this Erica through deep reflection, through recall and accountability to past mistakes, to things said, to toxic beliefs and mindsets, to whatever might have happened. In addition to great things happening too, but like sitting with certain things, like cussing somebody out and being like, well, damn, did they actually deserve that? Or not showing up for somebody and being like, well, damn, am I a person who's a really great friend that shows up for people? How can I call myself a great friend who shows up for people when I didn't show up in this way? And too many men are, I guess, and again, this is me guessing, are skipping over that part of the accountability and that part of the work because it doesn't feel good. And it's like, so what? We do it, so why in the hell can't y'all? Just to clarify, what specifically does Emmett need to do? Because I was just under the impression that he was doing all right. I'm really asking. Okay, so then the question is all right enough? I'm genuinely asking. Is doing all right enough? And anybody can answer that in the chat. Let me see how many of us are in here. I'm going to give you a second to respond. Is doing just all right enough? I think that's a really, really valid question. Monica says, all right. Drake. Hilarious. And maybe I need to open a Discord for that. Good chair says, I hate Nuck. He didn't have to shoot Rob like that. He gotta go. I don't hate Nuck. I am like, why? I am very much so like, why? But I don't hate him. I don't hate him yet. Kofi, it's very interesting to me that you did not answer my question, but you answered Monica's. And this is another thing that a lot of men do. Divert. You have all the questions in the world. You want everybody to provide you their logic and their reasoning, and then when the questions are turned back on you, it's answered with a question or it's not answered at all. So we gonna hover on, I guess, Emmett right now. This is interesting. I'm enjoying this dialogue that has popped up. I'm just trying to open up some screenshots, y'all. Give me 1 second. Why do I not have a ton of Emmett screenshots? I don't understand. Monica says, yes, it's his fault. He tried to shoot Douda without knowing how to shoot and thought there wouldn't be consequences. No, we need to stop thinking a person. Oh, Virgo Queen says, no, we need to stop thinking a person doing the bare minimum is enough. Heavy on that. Heavy on that. And Monica M said he got into business with Douda when he and everyone else knew what Douda was about. That part. That part. I'm going to open the Discord. However, there's going to be no MFer words, and do not repeat talking points from other YouTubers in their channels. If you have a point to make, please put it in your own perspective and share your full thoughts. Words that are currently banned on my channel, starting with simp. The moment that you have that, the conversation is over. The Discord is now open. Kofi, if you want to join, I'm going to get you guys a link if you want to call in. Okay. I need to do this over here. Okay. So we are talking about Emmett right now, right? And Kofi said, all right, it's not okay, but it should fall on the person. What does that mean? It's not okay to do the bare minimum, but it should fall on the person. I don't know what that means. I feel Emmett has matured. It's hard because it seems like men can't catch a break when it comes to doing better. We'll see how it plays out with my boy. Even that, like, that whole... Why does this feel like deja vu? This feels like deja vu. Ooh. I'm nervous. Is this a good deja vu or a bad deja vu? This feels like deja vu for me right now. Even that... I don't... do I want to go there? Do I want to go there? Kobe says it feels like men can't catch a break when it comes to doing better. And the wild thing for me is like, in theory, I understand where this statement is coming from, but I am just so tired of hearing it. I am so tired. And it's hard because I feel like the moment certain things start being said, men cut their ears off. And I'm trying to figure out how else to say certain things, because the goal is not necessarily to hurt your feelings or to make you feel like nothing that you do is enough. And we also need to just be honest. So if I was thinking about an analogy, if you are behind in a class, right? Like, let's say that you have like a 20% in the class. You are below F, right? You were originally never doing your homework on time, showing up for class. You were barely taking any tests. Like, you were just completely failing, right? And a teacher that really sees the potential in you and cares for you deeply decides to invest in you to get you to come along. One has to extend effort, emotional, mental, and physical effort to bring you along. You agree to do so and you start to change some of your ways, right? But like, let's say that you go from an F to a D. You've made progress, cool. But if you are applying for like an art school or a writing program that requires a GPA of like a 3.5 and you're at a D, it does not matter that you used to be an F and now you're at a D. Congratulations for you internally. Keep up the great work internally. But if you're trying to get into some program at a certain time and you need to be this place at this time, but you still don't meet the criteria to actually be able to walk through those doors, the criteria don't need to change because you tried. And for me, when men say that, I think about that because we don't get to say that. There's so much, and our society is patriarchal, whether y'all want to agree to that or not, but our society is set up by men for the benefit of men. So women navigating in this world have certain hurdles that y'all never even have to experience, never even have to think about, and we don't get to whine about it. We don't get to like, well, I have already done X, Y, and Z. Historically, for decades, we have literally just continued to rise to the occasion of additional oppressive forces or slights and circumstances that have been placed upon us. And that is the part. So I'm having a conflict internally because theoretically I understand that statement, but the conflict for me is like, I have lived having to be better. Me being my best at a moment that still wasn't enough for whatever I wanted meant that I still didn't get what I wanted. So I still had to be better, and I had to figure out a way to get better faster. I had to figure out a way to be more graceful. I had to figure out a way to be more articulate. I had to figure out a way to be smarter in a specific subject, if this was the thing that I said that I wanted. And because men are used to things being for you, that when you're confronted specifically in relationships, typically if you're trying to have a progressive relationship with a black woman, let's just say, and it's a little bit more even keeled or supposed to be an even playing field, and the black woman is coming and saying, yo, you are deficient in X, Y, and Z, you want to pat on your back for being where you are, but there's still so far to go. So we don't have time to just pat you up down here when you literally still have levels and levels and levels to go through. And that's not to demoralize you. It's to like, yo, let's keep going. I think that mindset that's attached to like men can't win for trying, or what did you say? You said it seems like men can't catch a break. A break would assume that you only had to go from point A to point B when the prize that y'all are both trying to achieve is at point Z. and we're supposed to be okay with the fact that you moved from point A to point B, but we're all the way at M. Like, can you please come on? I don't know if that makes sense, but, and I think that that is also shown with the Emmett character, because yes, he has made some strides with growth, but even if I was to just sit with this season and where I see Emmett as, do I see Emmett as a provider for their family? Aside from money, do I see Emmett as a full protector? And how about this? Damn, both of those. Do I actually see Emmett as the leader of their family? Before I say my answer, I want y'all to say y'all's. Monica M says, I feel you. I could say something, but I stopped. I have to fix what I want to say. It's hard because them men get so defensive, and it's just like, and I know I don't be saying stuff just to hear myself talk. So if you ain't going to be receptive to it, I don't even want to say it. So then you have to, now I have to go through the mental gymnastics of trying to figure out how I can try to say it and tiptoe around. Meanwhile, we get told all types of stuff. I get on this app, specifically YouTube, every day and have men call me all types of ugly, monkey, dog, whatever. And it's just like, that's just a part of my existence in this space and trying to do something. And I don't get to be like, oh, well, this shouldn't happen. And I'm not like, no, I just got to keep moving. What I want is over there. Like, that's just it. And I don't understand why that's so hard for a group of people who want to position themselves as the leader, that want to position themselves as the head, that want to position themselves as the like all powerful and all knowing. But like that stops when you hold me accountable to truly be better, because me being better 10% should be enough. You can finish the other 90%. Ciao. Monica M says, if a person is truly doing better, people will let them know because they are happy for you and see it. Like with Emmett, Dad, Darnell, we have seen him change. There are lines he won't cross and go. I think that Darnell is a really great example, actually. And I didn't think about him, but I think that he's a really great example. And I think that he's an example specifically because we have seen him not need Jada to check certain things in reference to make certain changes, which she might have brought up or pointed out, but then once the change was made, he adjusted, versus like Keisha constantly has to like check Emmett's morale temperature or check his like decision making temperature. Y'all were really great in pointing out like, yo, you knew what Douda was about and you still got involved with him, right? Like, you put this family at risk because you wanted to feel bigger than you were. Keisha didn't need this big ass house. She wanted y'all to just be safe and sound, but you made a decision because you wanted to buy Tiffany a car and wear the suit, and you wanted to feel like X, Y, and Z and skip steps. And I think that's like such a great example for like the male journey in a lot of ways, because y'all want to skip steps and then act like none of the steps that you skipped were important or needed to happen. And then to make it a little worse, he had nothing but smoke. Emmett has nothing but smoke for the brother up until like 2 episodes ago. Who are you to judge? Like, the brother could have been a really great use case to show Emmett's actual maturity and growth, but he defaulted to being selfish and all of that, which is not a bad thing. I think that he could have processed his feelings differently. But this particular scenario also denotes or shows where he actually is, which is not where he believes himself to be in life. Emmett thinks that he's a boss, that he's on all of his shit. And it's like, no, you're still a little hurt boy that's trying to recover from also hurting the people that you love. Kofi says, frankly, it feels like to us when we are trying and making strides. Some women don't give us credit for expecting us to get it together quickly, and there lies the disconnect. I do not feel this way. My boys do. I think the disconnect comes from one, people speaking for perspectives that aren't their own. So if you don't feel this way, then why are you going so hard for it? You have to identify with it at some point. You just do. Um and it depends on, I guess, what you are looking for in reference to giving you credit. Cuz will note the growth. Cool. Congratulations in the moment. Great job in the moment. And now let's move on. You don't get to just continue on and ride the wave of this credit of like, oh, you ain't cheat on me. Great. You've been in this relationship solid, but then you go and put our damn family in harm's way, and now I can't speak on you putting our family in harm's way because you didn't cheat on me. Those are two different things. Two different areas of growth that you need to have in life. Like, what are we talking about? Um you mean he doesn't think through, oh, he doesn't think things through again and again. Emmett making questionable positions, trying to act like a boss. Mm-mm-mm. Can you hear me? Hey, Kofi.
What's up?
Oh, shoot, it's loud. How are you?
All right, I'm cool. Just
Okay,
enjoying my son.
just enjoying your summer. About to graduate. Love that for you.
Yep.
Congratulations. Kofi graduates on
Appreciate-
Wednesday.
Yep. Wednesday.
Um. Okay. Go. Let's go ahead and get into it. You just posted a message, but you can go ahead and say it because you're on here now.
All right. Cool. Let me get my thoughts together. I don't want to come.
Not you better get. Not you
Uh,
want to get your thoughts together. You're supposed to get them together before you call in.
yeah. No, no, but it's all good. All right. So here's what I think. First of all, I'm gonna give the episode a 10. This was a great season finale. I'm so mad at Nuck. I know we're talking about Emmett, but I gotta get this off my chest.
No,
Nuck,
we're
what
not
do you
talking
do?
about Nuck yet. We're not talking about Nuck yet. We're only talking about
Okay.
Emmett.
All right. Emmett, 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 Emmett.
Are
I
you going to
mean,
address the question I asked you that you still have yet to answer?
yeah, I'm gonna get to it. I'm just
Nah, I'm
let
gonna
me.
get to it.
It's a process.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Oh, but when you
do
ask
I
me
think?
questions, you be wanting to answer though, right?
No, no. I don't throw like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do I think enough? Do I think all right is enough? No, I don't. I think
Are you
in
sure?
yes, I do. Okay, trust me. I don't just be giving guys passes, and I got to be quite transparent. I've had a lot of conversations with my boys, dudes that I've known since we was 5 years old. They're the only ones that I talk to when it comes to this type of stuff. They come to me about what they need to do because I'm not in a relationship, but for some reason, I'm the go-to guy when they having problems with their girls. So I don't know why. It's just that's what it is. But anyway, for me, like doing all right isn't enough. Ideally, you want to be an equal partner, not just in providing financially, but being that emotional support. Now, in terms of Emmett, I think he's done. Let me, if I had to give him a grade, I say I give him a C plus. Where he's faulted is this whole thing with him getting into business with Douda. That's what I think Keisha has the right to be. I wouldn't say angry with him, but disappointed, which she has every right to be because she feels like she's putting their family in danger. So those points are valid. I can't fault people for getting on Emmett for that. So, and I think the person who brought up Darnell is a good example because Darnell was never, you know, an ideal father figure, and I think that's where Emmett was lacking because he didn't have that persistent male presence. He's like the only person I could come to think of that may have been that for him was Jason, or was it Jason? Forget the character played
Yes,
or
yes.
Brand.
You don't have to say his name. Yes.
Yeah, the character made the one Brandon, that was his name. Yeah, the one from the first season. Uh, so yeah, that's kind of where I'm at
But
with it.
even with
So
Darnell, I think that the T is, or the focus should not be like where Darnell is now, because quiet as kept, Darnell is still playing catch up as well for years of being a deadbeat daddy, for years of expecting women to do more and to kind of like carry him, and he was doing the bare minimum. What I respect about Darnell now is that he doesn't move with a certain level of entitlement, but he moves with an era of accountability. And there's too many men who, again, want to ignore all of their transgressions because now they're on the right track. And it's like, no, you still have to atone. However long the people who are harmed need the actual atonement. And that part actually is not even specifically for the other people, but it's a thing that's going to keep you humble. It's a thing that's going to help you best see yourself, because I think that a lot of men have an inflated sense of ego or sense of self, and you believe yourself to be showing up in the world in a way that you're actually not. And now it's everybody else's problem because you refuse to step outside yourself and see it. And Emmett is one of those that struggles with that.
yeah, that's a
And
fair
it's not just
point.
the
I can't.
problem of the Douda thing. Like, Emmett is a wannabe well-adjusted family man, leader of the household, but you also immediately go back to being a little ass boy the moment that Nuck came back around. Like, you have no emotional regulation. You literally have a lot of areas that he still needs to work on for Keisha to be able to be stable in that relationship with him, and not need to be the one to basically like settle him out or calm him down or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, specifically with the Ronnie situation, she was captured, tortured, abused physically and sexually by a man, and then she had the baby thinking it was by him. That's like a certain level of psychological terrorism in and of itself. To find out that Nuck is the father becomes a weight that's kind of like lifted, and it changes a little bit of a stigma that might be attached to this kid. No matter how much you love him, he's attached to a very tumultuous point in your life, and now that moves that from there. So it still happened, but now your baby not attached to it. There shouldn't have been no smoke from Emmett. Don't give a fuck who the father was. But yet and still, she had to come on, y'all, and why are we doing this and why are we doing that? That to me just shows Emmett is not as far along as he believes himself to be.
Okay, fair point. But you know what? I mean, I think in relation to Nuck, that I think is an adjustment. I can't really get on him for his reaction because he don't quiet as it kept. He don't like Nuck. Okay, all right. So I mean, so now you have to adjust to this new reality in which you have to, you know, step aside and let Nuck be a father to his son. When before that he was under the impression that even though the abuser was a son, he was taking care of Ronnie like he was one of his own kids.
Yes,
So
and he
I
can
guess
still do
for
that.
me,
I think one Kofi. I think that you need to be mindful of the word "but" because "but" negates everything that you said before it. And the other part is nobody's saying that men cannot have a reaction. It's what you do with those reactions. And women can definitely point to or like point that out specifically because we are the number one, specifically black women. We are the number one group of people who are stereotyped and stigmatized based on our reactions. So we have had to learn to control our reactions if we don't want to be perceived in a certain way or if we want to be perceived in a certain way. So when we need to show strong, we can't cry and we can't do this and we can't do that. So to look at a man like Emmett in this circumstance and be like, you can be going through whatever the hell you want to be going through emotionally, but Keisha should not see that. You have a men's group, you have a father, you have a mother where you can literally express all of this and process this. But you, as being the leader of your household or wanting to be the leader of your household and wanting to be a person to carry some emotional baggage tied to this particular circumstance in Keisha's life, she should never have to see it because she also has to deal with all of the things that come with her right now, and then Ronnie, and then her feeling shame and lack of, and she's already spoken these things to you. That to me is not too much to ask, and that's the part that men be missing. Nobody's asking you to be perfect. Nobody's asking you not to have a reaction. We're asking you to be considerate.
All right, fair enough. So, but look, I mean, about to have another child in this world. So, look, as long as Emmett does what he's supposed to do and puts in the work to catch up to be a better partner to Keisha, especially if they're bringing this child into this world, then that's all that I care for.
What do you
Because
think the
Emmett,
work is, Kofi? Because for me, by your
I don't.
initial responses, it don't feel like you think that Emmett needs to do anything different, and there's no cause for concern with her being pregnant right now.
I'm not saying that he doesn't have to work hard. I just need to find like I just don't know what. Okay, maybe help me, like just break it down for me because I haven't really been watching the show long. I mean, I've caught up, so I, I haven't really gotten to see Emmett's development. Like I rewatched some of the old episodes. I'm like, dang, Emmett's. I'm glad Emmett ain't on that dude anymore. So could you help me? Like, what does Emmett need to do? Like specifically, like in
You
what
cannot
areas
ask the
should he
question
have
I
some
just
good?
asked you back to me
Because I
and
don't
ask for
know.
help.
I don't
And I
know.
know that you don't
I
know,
don't
but
know.
my problem is not that you don't know. My problem is the feedback that I receive from you and men like you is that I know that you don't know, which I can tell in how you respond to me, but you are responding to me as if you do know. You're responding to me as if I'm wrong. You're responding to me as if I am doing too much and pointing out the things that I'm pointing out. Meanwhile, you're not even seeing the entire landscape. And I'm sorry, but my initial thing is no, I can't help you. Maybe I'll do it in a future video, but I can't help you in this moment and tell you all of the things because if you're going to go ahead and give him a pass and say that he's all right, then you need to be able to speak to him checking off the boxes of all of the things that are actually okay versus feeling like, well, you're not where you were, so this is good enough and we just going to push forward. Does that make sense?
All right. Yeah, that makes sense. So I ain't got much else to say because I don't have anything to back up my claim right now. So I'm gonna sit this
But
one out.
my
That's
question
all.
is, why do you have the claim? If you don't have anything to back it up, why do you have it?
I don't know, man. It's like damn. Like I thought we was. I mean, I didn't know what Emmett was doing. That was like saying, damn, he's not really being there for Keisha
I didn't
and
say that he
doing his
wasn't
part
being
as a
there.
man. I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's just a defense mechanism. Okay. Sometimes we
I
just feel like, damn,
know.
we be getting it from both sides. So like, I don't know. It's not me personally, but it's like, damn,
No, Kofi,
ease off my boy a little
I
bit.
think that you need to. You're never going to get past this particular point because you do this for various shows that I talk about as it pertains to the black male characters. You need to stop detaching or disassociating because you do feel this way. You do think some of these things. You're not just speaking for your friends. You don't know the parts that I'm actually speaking to, and that's okay. Like it is okay. Men as a whole, like I don't know how to get you to believe or to see that actually listening to women in this way and hearing us, like listening to understand, will actually help you. It is not it's not a hindrance or a harm to you.
Yeah, this is true.
And
Oh
I get it
no,
that's
I
a
do
defense
feel
mechanism. I don't know
it's
how to
just
get y'all to let it down. Like I don't know what is it going to take
I don't know.
for
It's
you
just
to
something that
release it
we got to
because it's
work
doing
through.
nothing
It's
for
just something
you.
that just some we got to work through.
Okay,
Okay.
but then what is the
Well,
work? What is the work for releasing the defense mechanism that men have about accountability and women's thoughts on it?
you asking the wrong guy because I ain't never had no problem with being accountable. Okay,
Yes, you
so
do. You have a you might not have a problem within a relationship, Kofi, but every single live you get on with me and you get to push it back, not too much on my boy. And then I say, well, your boy did this, and this. Well, he did, but Erica, that is you having a problem with accountability.
you know what? I don't know. It's just it's not much so the accountability. It's more so. I don't know. I'm very, very protective of my black male characters. Okay, I'm sorry. That doesn't mean you can't also hold them accountable. You have to.
I would
That
argue
doesn't.
that you don't
I
love the
cringe
character if you
whatever
don't hold
people
them
be coming
accountable.
at them though. That's just all I'm saying. I mean,
But
I'm
see,
sure you
every
feel this
every
way
bit of
whenever we come
criticism is
after the
not.
black female characters.
No, no. Every bit of criticism is not made the same. Like if the point is valid, the point is valid. And if it's gonna help the character, it's gonna help the character. I stand carrying down on sisters, and I go to war. I go to war with these haters about her because she's the least favorite character within the whole fandom. However, she's been set tripping this recently with this character named Aaron, who has been nothing but an exemplary gentleman to her. And I say that shit. Love her down, but I say that. That's the difference between you and me, is that I can actually hold the characters accountable that I actually like. Defending and loving a
Uh-huh.
character does not mean that you only allow nice things to be said about them, especially if they're not necessarily doing nice things in the moment. If their actions do not lead to nice results, if their mindset is not actually leading them into a nice place, like you ignoring their very real, very human responses, actions, mindsets, thoughts, whatever, does not mean that you're really great at supporting this particular character. It means that you're talented in deluding yourself and deluding the others, and it's not a conversation to be had in reality.
All right, that's a fair point. I got to do better. That's all I gotta say. I gotta do better.
Now again,
Gotta
Emmett is
make sure I'm not.
fine. Emmett has come a very long way, but for us to be, if we were exiting season 6 without a baby, I would not have no concerns. I would be fine. But it's almost like the baby now adds additional pressure into the circumstances they're going into, and he's already behind. Like we've already, in rooting for Emmett and Keisha and watching them, have already basically said, okay, Emmett, you ain't necessarily where you need to be, but you trying to get there. We gonna figure it out. And you've made some stumbles along the way. I haven't even really, well, I haven't been breaking down the season episode to episode, but like mentally, I haven't really been like on Emmett's ass until he did like stupid shit, like trying to shoot Douda and like very big stupid stuff, because I understand that it's a journey. But the baby changes everything. The damn car blowing up changes everything. Douda dying and Nuck being a killer, like that changes everything. And Emmett is not a man yet who's in the proper position to do what is going to be needed to be done in going into those circumstances next season. And having Keisha actually be able to rest in that and feel safe in that. He's not. He's just not. As nice as he might be, he's not that person yet.
Yeah, and that's fair. I'm not gonna argue with that. So,
How
no,
did you
the
feel
only
about
thing
how he responded to his brother this season?
I think that was he was set tripping. Okay,
Mm.
like now, should Darnell have probably eased this conversation a little bit? Yeah, but for the most part, as far as I'm concerned, the brother whose name is escaping me, he hasn't really done anything to give me concern in terms of you can't trust this guy. So I'm glad whatever issues he had with him, he let him go in this episode. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he was set tripping on that. I
Darnell
can
definitely
admit,
could have introduced him better. Like Darnell wasn't on,
yeah,
but I also some of this, y'all, I am going to tack onto the bill of the writers, because a lot of this season they were throwing a lot out at a very fast pace. I think that a lot of this season was poorly paced. They have really great storylines, but because they were trying to hit so many, I think that they were just having the characters do stuff without proper setup that they would have if they would have given it a little bit more time.
yeah, and then I think that's where I'm like, geez, if you're gonna introduce this half brother in here, there should have been some seeds before we just straight up introduce him.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he was set tripping. I'm going to openly admit that. So,
I
but I'm
love
glad
the
they got.
introduction of the stepbrother though, because I think that in cases like this we don't realize it, but like low key the universe be sending us. Well, I don't like to think that God tests us, 'cause I don't believe that God tests us, right? But like we get presented with opportunities in life, and I think that his stepbrother was an opportunity for him not only to solidify any maturing that he has recently done, but to show himself grace and forgiveness. in how he responded to his brother. His brother's not necessarily exactly like him, but in being able to handle him better, that would have done a world of good for Emmett's character development. And because he didn't, he is stagnant in this particular place. Now, we're seeing him make peace at the end of the episode or the end of the finale with his brother, and he wants to be there. So we're going to, I guess, watch that journey. However, this is something that you could have worked through and been already at, as not another thing that you're working through going into season 7, but something that's already under your belt had you not been a little baby and throw little tantrums.
Yeah, this is true. I mean, we gotta call him out on it, but I'm glad he let that go and called him brother finally. So that I'm happy
Finally,
about.
I kind of need to see more
So
of
that
Emmett's kids. Like, I kind of want to see all of Emmett and Darnell's kids at some point. I know that might be blowing the budget, but y'all had these men have all these goddamn babies. I'm gonna need them to show up at some point, because you pulling one or two out every now and again ain't gonna work for me.
yeah, that I agree. So
Staying on the trend before
yeah,
we go to
then
Nuck. We're not going to Nuck first. We going, y'all. We gonna go to Douda. Child. Not only did they, not only did they have this man taken out this season, y'all, but they had a scene where he was contemplating taking himself out, and I was like, well, what the hell? Why the hell don't we have more of this? What? I need to understand what got him to this table with this Glock and putting it up to his mouth like this.
and I feel like that came out of left field. To be
Mm-hmm.
quite honest with you, I didn't get no setup with that. That bothered me a little bit.
I mean, I know that we have the moments where, Tiff told him that it was transactional with Tony Childs. I can't remember her name right now. There's so many goddamn characters on the shot. Yeah. Um, and then that created a little bit of issue. But I'm also like, why do you feel a way about it being transactional when you're transactional with everybody? I guess you really thought that this girl loved you, but I guess, but then your wife be showing up and she be holding you down. Y'all not sexing each other, but she really be holding you down. So clearly somebody gives a shit about you. And then what is Coogie Mama name?
Oh shoot, I forgot. Oh man.
There's so many characters, y'all. Y'all, what is Coogie Mama name? Please tell me in the chat. I'm gonna go on, but I'm gonna come back to her in particular because she's also tied to the whole dude I love story. So like, I felt like they were trying to start something with the lady with Tony Childs. That's not her name in the show, but she will forever be Tony Childs for me. They were trying to start something with that conversation of him feeling dejected, and I felt like there was something to go with off of that. But like, they should have spent more of the season showing people actually rejecting him and not showing up. Tracy. So then you have Tony Childs, who they having really great sex, but Tiff tells him it's just transactional. So clearly she talking about you behind your back. I get you feeling away. Tracy don't want you, ain't answering the phone for you no more. So you feel away. You actually really love her, which I don't even know how the heck that came to be. The whole Tracy and Douda thing always perplexed me. But okay. I'm gonna need y'all to give me more before this man sits down and put a Glock in his mouth. Tony Childs is Bianca. Bianca. Okay, thank you. Like, this man has been a boogeyman, a big bad wolf, taking out people left and right. He just broke Bakari's goddamn computer. And y'all mean to tell me he didn't did all that just to shoot himself in the face?
Doesn't make any sense. There was no setup. You know,
Yeah.
I just that was probably where I have to call out the writers. I mean, give me something from the either this earlier this season that he had these thoughts. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it just yeah. I'm glad dude is dead, man. He's got too many bodies. He done caused so much chaos throughout the time he's been on the show. And shout out the actor who plays him. I mean, he played this man to a T. So it's like, but I'm not gonna miss him. Not one bit. No,
I'm gonna
sir.
miss his act. Like I'm gonna miss like the intensity that he brings. But it was time for him to go because it's just like you just got to do too much. When they started switching up and like he wasn't just in the drug game, but he also got them stealing cars and he also got. I'm like he got his hands in everything and y'all don't actually build any of that up. We just pop up in the season and now all of a sudden he got people stealing cars and he need all these goddamn cars. Like this just feels so weird and just so random. And he was also the mayor. Like that storyline was rushed. You like ran off and then came back, and it's just like, I can't. So I appreciate his acting, like you mentioned, but it was definitely time for him to make his exit.
Yep. No love lost for me. So
Virgo Queen said, I would like to see more of him battling his thoughts. I think that could have been a really beautiful addition for the season if we would have saw him standing on business and still being a menace, but battling his thoughts personally, battling all his feelings like on a one-on-one, like on his own. So he out in the world, yes, he's continuing to be this dude out that he's told everybody to be. But when we see him finally by himself, we see that he's like crumbling inside. That would have been a perfect setup to this. And then that would have also made Nuck taking him out at the very end, I think, hit just a tad bit harder. Because it's like it would have been a moment, any moment in time that he would have taken himself out. And y'all ain't even have to do it if they would have properly set up the unaliving of himself. Yeah, the Douda character became unbelievable. I agree. Chill.
But you know what? He's gone. But it seems like the city's not going to get no peace because you get rid of one and then in comes another one guy that slides on in. So,
Which I'm interested in. Like, we're going to talk about that. Before we get off of Douda, I feel a little bit of a ways about not getting any kind of resolution around Emmett's businesses being separate from Douda. Because y'all blew up the car because he was supposed to take out Alicia so that you could let him out of the businesses and take the bounty off of his head. But then then you did a deal with Alicia, who's going to be footing the bill and like getting you straight. But then your car still get like I don't like it was way too many things happening. I'm like I thought that Alicia was his boss now. So also if y'all still haven't transferred over any of these files, I'm pretty sure that Douda have it set up to where he still owns it. So is Emmett about to lose all the damn businesses because nothing was on the up and up, and you tried to kill his ass? So I could totally see him not, or if he did have paperwork for you to get it if he died, he's not going to have that be the case anymore. Is anybody else concerned about that, or was just me?
that's a legit point. Uh, uh,
I'm just like,
and
what happens to all of Douda's assets? Because Nuck, you talking about you him now, which is fine, babes. Ain't nobody don't come and shoot me now. You him, that's fine. But him has like titles and deeds and like stuff attached to stuff. The pizza place, like all of these things are still in Douda's name. The way that the government works, babe, the way the legalese works is like you can't just put a gun to a contract and be like, yeah, put my name on it now. That's not how this works.
yeah. I wonder what does become of his assets and what happens now. Like that's where I want. That's where I kind of want to know where this goes. To be quite honest with you.
Monica M said that Alicia had the worst guards for Emmett. They must be part-time. Period. They had to be part-time because who are y'all guarding? What is going on? All right. We're going to keep the train going and discussing the black men on this show. Shout out to the shop because I actually didn't even register. I mean, I registered it, but like, this is really a black male lead show. And they did a good job of like transferring that, even with the exit of Brandon, even with the exit of Kevin. It's still very much so led by black men. Okay, we love this for y'all. All right, I'm trying.
That's
to
why I'd be
up.
rocking with it.
That's fine, but it's a drug show based in Chicago, so you can be rocking with it all the heck you like, but you can still call these black men out for what they doing.
Okay. Okay, America.
I'm just saying. Listen, I don't know if you watched my previous videos of previous seasons of the shop, but I have been on Tiffany's ass. Okay? I was on Gemma's ass. Like those two girls.
I agree. I would hope you were right. I mean, I hope you're equal opportunity out here. So
I don't know how you could even question that, Kofi, because that's just what Erica gives. I am a womanist, period. But there's certain hoes that make me question, and no, I'm not behind every single hoe. I'm not, because you hoes be tripping, and I ain't playing that shit. I'm not standing behind some goofy hoe. I'm not doing it. I'm really not. And Gemma, how she did Kev, I'm still on your ass about that. And Tiffany, you were right until your ass went wrong. Because, girl, what the hell is this? I want a polyamorous relationship, blah, 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 blah. I'm running around throwing my box at every nick. Girl, girl, girl. Just some examples for you,
mm-mm.
Goofy.
Yeah, yeah, it's fine.
All right, so we're going to go. I got the. Okay. Let me at least just do the intro, I guess, to Nuck. I don't even know. Because Nuck, it was
Nuck,
all right until it was wrong.
Nuck,
Nuck.
if you buck.
Not Nuck if you buck. Sir, what is the problem? Okay, so Nuck gets the kill shot, right, y'all? He gets the kill shot. Alicia is right there, got him in her crosshairs, is ready to do the deed. Well, she should have did it from the damn jump. So if she's kicking anybody about not being the one to be able to put one up in Douda, then she need to kick her damn self because, girl, you already knew what this was, and you shouldn't have sent the little boy to do a woman's job. Yes, your son. Rob was never that. He's 6'7", giving teddy bear. He just want to be loved and have a bomb ass family and smoke his weed. He was never given killer, ma'am. But okay. Nuck takes a shot. I'm cool with this. I'm cool with Nuck being from the behind, even though y'all shading him in the comment section. I seen you. Y'all shaded him in the comments talking about, is he ever going to shoot somebody from the front? As long as the job get done, as long as the job get done, right? So, this part, Nuck, we're screaming, we're hollering. The crowd goes wild because Douda needed to be put down, and you are the perfect person to do it. Perfectly fine. This is where you start to go wrong, my nigga. This is where you lose me, sir. Because Bakari is free. Bakari is free for all of 37 minutes and 62 seconds before you show your ass up talking about, Bakari, I need you. You the only person I trust. We basically like family. He like, yeah, we like family. You see what my damn sister did? We are like family, bro. No. He don't get to say no. Only for you to now rope Bakari in to being a part of this. You shoot Rob. I don't even understand why he shot Rob. So, like, let's unpack that, y'all.
Mm-mm.
Rosalind is the wife. She owns everything. Ooh, Rosalind owns everything. I didn't even think about it. If it's in her name, child. Child. Not Bakari pissed you off, Lillian. What Bakari do? At least she could have taken him out when she was first. It was sure. Yep, she could have. She just had to go make her little villain proclamation. Kofi, why do you think that Nut killed Rob?
I don't know, man. I guess to show that he's the big bad wolf now, because he had no reason to do that. Like Rob ain't do nothing. Rob ain't about this life. Like you said, Rob just want to love his woman, smoke his weed, and live his life. He was probably the most chill person on the show. Probably one of my favorite characters. Like even that whole situation when Tiff was pushing up on Emmett, Rob was like chill about it. Rob was like, "What?" Then he was just cool. He was the G with it, which I like. So yeah, man, Nuck. I mean, Nuck. I was rooting for you because I like the story of the gangster trying to get out this gangster life, and I thought you being a father would finally free you this gangster life. But now you want to be full on gangster. Well, I'm gonna have to let you go, bro. And the fact that you brought my brother Bakari in it, yeah. So
I'm gonna have to
Nuck,
let you go.
I gotta let you go. Sorry. If somebody take you out, I ain't gonna shed no tear for you. Sorry, because that was so unnecessary.
Wow. Okay. So,
Oh,
y'all, I might be the problem because I'm not getting rid of Nuck yet. I'm side eyeing him for sure. I'm
hmm.
like, sir, what the fuck? for sure. But I ain't getting rid of him yet. Because I do think that he has at least one reason to kill Rob. It might not be a good one, but he has one. But you think he had no reason.
To hear it. I want to hear it.
Okay, before I say it, what do y'all think in the chat? Like, do y'all think that Nuck had... Well, what reason... Not do y'all think he had a reason. If there is a reason, what reason do you think that Nuck had to kill Rob? And if you don't think that he didn't have a reason, then tell me that too, I guess. But before I say, the one reason that was very clear to me... Rob was being unfazed, so he had to buck up to prove to Zay, I'm about this. Oh, you think it was all ego? Rob told him he was no longer working for him and turned his back. He disrespected Nuck. That's how gangsters do. Monica M says, I like Nuck too. Damn, am I going to commit to saying I still like Nuck? I ain't throwing him away, but do I still like him?
I'm throwing him away. You can have him. Got no love for me.
Rose said no reason. What was the reason? No reason. Okay. Alright. So, y'all. The reason that is very clear to me is Alicia. This didn't actually, to me, have anything to do with Rob. It didn't have anything to do with Rob disrespecting him in that moment. It didn't have anything to do with Rob turning his back on him and walking away and him needing to play big and bad in front of Zay. I think that he utilized that and said the whole I ain't playing to like further boom. But Zay doesn't actually know in this moment that Alicia was there when Douda was taken out. So he don't know all the context. So for me, the like I'm not playing is like the added context without you actually understanding all that I have already done and set in motion. To me, Rob was just a pawn that needed to get taken off the chessboard. It wasn't necessarily personal. Even though, because he's the father of Ronnie, this now becomes personal. This was a shot at Alicia. Hey, Just Danielle, welcome in. Yes, be a great parent. We here for you cutting up. So like, do what you gotta do with the cheering, and then whenever you have the chance, free moment, you want to cut up with us, then you pop on or you catch on the replay. No worries, you're not late, boo. Virgo Queen says she gonna catch him, Kofi. you throwing away Nuck. Virgo Queen says she gonna catch him. How do you feel about?
What is it about the thugs, man?
What is it like about the thugs? You said that you like him too.
I did, and then he killed my boy Rob, so I can't like him no more. You want me to support a killer?
Kevin is a killer.
Kevin did what he had to do.
Oh, okay. So, like, clear up your statement. That's another thing. I need men to be more specific when y'all talking. Because you said a killer. There's plenty of killers on this show that we riding for. Bakari is a killer. Love Bakari down. Go back to your question of what we love about thugs. I don't know about the other ladies, right? But I'll speak for myself. Why are you laughing, Kofi? Why are you laughing like this?
Because I'm about to hear I need to hear this.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you. I grew up, as most of y'all know, I'm from Baltimore, Northeast Baltimore to be specific. So I grew up amongst these men. It's not necessarily like, oh, only because you're a thug, I'm attracted to you. But this is what I grew up in and seeing. So my whole scope of like attractiveness, grit, like protection, all of that is like ingrained from this is who I saw. Like my first crushes was gangsta ass niggas in the hood. At the time I didn't even know what they were doing. I just knew that these are these people. Like I will never forget Shorty, who was killed very young, and like all of this, like he was a very early crush of mine. So for me, for little black girls coming out of the hood, the gangsters, the thugs are kind of like our first point of reference when it comes to men. In addition to us seeing them in the neighborhoods, some of them are our goddamn daddies, some of them are our uncles, some like they're just a part of it, right? And then when you move through life and you start to, like me, go to private school or go to college or go to grad school, then you start to get exposed to other people once you get outside of your hood, or like me traveling with sports. Then you start to see others. But for me, I default back to what I have known. Now, my tastes have shifted over the years, and like I like a dude with some grit to him, similar to a thug, but not actually living that life anymore. I appreciate the lessons that come from living that particular life. And if you have done it, or like have been exposed to it or seen it, maybe never done it, but have been exposed to it, seen it, respected, and you're moving through life with a certain mindset and keeping certain things that come with that in mind, I really appreciate that, because I feel like that's something that I do, and I feel like we would get each other. So a dude who also has a bachelor's degree or a master's degree but come from the hood and like had to do some things, I would be attracted to him because he'll be able to speak both sides of like what I think is like both sides of my brain. Does it make sense? And Nuck kind of like, he doesn't necessarily give off education per se, but he gives off different than the other gangster niggas. And it's that part. Like, I think a lot of men look at women like, oh, you just want a bad boy. No, it be the bad boys that are kind of something different about you. You got a little something. That be the most attractive thing about them for me. The ladies in the chat can say what it is for y'all. Nuck looking like he wants to get out, looking like he's doing this as a means to an end, having certain morals, even though he didn't have some morals at some point. Y'all, I know, cause Pastor, that part, all of those things, like the full range of his humanity, like he's not just this gutter gangster who don't have no feelings. Like them even adding on the layer of like him being Ronnie's dad and him caring and him wanting to be there. Ugh. Attractive as fuck. Like what? So yeah, those are my thoughts on it.
Okay, just wanted to get some clarification.
Is it as trivial as you thought it was gonna be?
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be some superficial stuff, but you broke it down easily, so good on you for that. So I can't hate. So, yeah.
But I will say, as you grow, right? Like, I still am attracted to people who look like him, or I'm not dissuaded. I would say this. I'm not dissuaded by people who look like him. And I think a lot of people expect women or want women to be turned off by men that look like Nuck. And I'm particularly not. However, I am in the space now where I am no longer dating drug dealers. I am no longer dating certain men who were in certain professions, even though I have understood it. I've already done my time in that. I've already, like, been there, bought the t-shirt, learned what I need to learn, got the hell out. I'm very much so in the season of accepting the alignment of a man who is corny as hell, but knows who the hell he is, stands on business about who the hell he is not impacted and or influenced by his goofy ass friends or society, has a plan and ambitions, and however that looks, if that stuff reads for me, I'm gonna be attracted to you, regardless of what the aesthetic is given.
Okay.
Monica M says, I'm from New York and I agree with what you said.
Point.
Moving around changed my views. And then part of that, the moving around comes in and like, you don't know what you don't know. So it's not until we get exposed to people be like, oh, okay. Hey, you don't just got to talk to the dude who's going to fight everybody. But like, this dude actually likes X, Y, and Z and I like this. Okay, cool. And honestly, I think that men can learn so much from women in that regard, Kofi, because y'all be having y'all's preferences from what it seemed to me. I could be wrong. This is just my thoughts. Y'all be having y'all's preferences that do be grounded in like superficial that don't actually have the layers and nuance that it needs to figure out if this girl is actually good for you. And then you want to be mad that one, y'all lifestyles don't align, y'all mindsets don't align, and she was never the one for you, but you aesthetically love how she looks, so that's why your ass is stuck there. When for a lot of girls who like thug niggas, it's not just the aesthetic.
Okay. You broke it down, so I'll give you credit.
Okay, but we were talking about, before we started talking about my thirst over Nuck. Okay, Kobe's
Yeah.
throwing Nuck away as a black man in America. He is throwing Nuck away because why would you do Rob like that? Which is very valid. It's 100% valid. I will never advocate for you to do anything else. However, Erica has not thrown Nuck away yet, and I'm trying to figure out if I'm the problem for not doing so.
Oh, you're not a problem. I don't know how Nuck can redeem himself after this. You want to be better for your son or nah? What are you doing, bro?
Do we really think
Would
that
you
he's
want your
going to just do, he's going to be exactly like Douda was? Because that's the thing that I'm leaning on. I don't think that he's going to be Douda. I think that he's going to govern with a little bit more balance. And he going to have like rules established, and you break the rules, you suffer the consequences. But if you follow the rules, you don't have no problem with me.
Okay, you can say all that, but all I know is Alicia and Tiff are coming for blood once they find out that it was him that did it. You know, so he better put his head on a swivel. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, dude, I just
You,
tried to blow his son and baby mom up, so it's justified. Well, it was justified for him to kill Douda, yes. But we talking about him killing Rob. Jess Danielle says
mm,
Nuck is not going to survive as long as Douda did. Dang, so none of y'all see it for Nuck in the Douda season of his life?
no, because not only did you kill Rob, you won't let Bakari go, bro. That's what I'm more pissed off
Okay,
about.
but that's again my example is like he's not going to be exactly like Douda. I don't feel like he's going to stop Bakari from going to school. I could just be, delusional though.
You got
That's
more
fair.
confidence in him than I do. I mean, you killed a man because he turned your back on you, and you felt like you
Well,
needed to
that's why
check him.
you
So,
think that he did it. I think that he did it because of Alicia. So we're
mm,
already in two different places.
yeah, we are.
Him and Alicia said that they were going to war with each other. That is her only other like. Whether now or later, Rob was going to fall as a casualty of war. Hell, he took out the pastor for less.
Yeah, that's true. So, I mean, I ain't got much to say. I mean, Nuck wasn't somebody I cared particularly about, but then when we found out he was really Ronnie's father. I'm like, okay, Nuck, this is your chance to do right by this boy and turn away your thuggish ways to have a better life for your son. And again, I don't know how you can do that by being this crime lord. Oh yeah, you can govern well, but you still killed Rob, and you got to answer for that, man. You do. I'm sorry.
I mean, he never answered for killing the pastor.
Yeah, but I think he's gonna get his comeuppance for Rob. Alicia's smart. She's gonna know who did it, and she's coming for blood. Uh,
What do you?
and do do not play with Lynn Whitfield. I saw what she did to Martin in a thin line, so it's like
You know what? This is
she
like
does.
a side note. Well, actually, let me ask you this first before I tell you this side note. What do you think motivated him to go to Ronnie at the end of the night?
Maybe that he needed that light at the end of the tunnel. It's kind of like that in the bad when you do something bad, you know you did something bad. You need that. I don't know, just that reassurance or something to just see they're still good in me or something. I don't know. This it's the only thing I can think of at that time. I'm not sure.
Y'all let me know in the chat why do you think that Nug ran to Ronnie at the end, and while y'all do that, I'm gonna give y'all a little side note because this season has been interesting for me on another level because I know Lynn, and I shot her for my Black Women Centered Digital Magazine, Create Her Collective. 3 years ago now, 4 years ago, where we exchanged numbers and like talking, like checking in on one another. And one of the things that we talked about 4 years ago, I think, was Lynn wanting roles that allowed her and her age to be an ingenue and to like show that older women can be sexy and can do things that the younger girls are doing as well. So when we got into that era, I'm not necessarily a fan of Shad and him using her and like constantly going from woman to woman, because maybe we need to talk about Shad next since we talk about all these black men, okay? Because I was rooting for Shad's ass, and then
Shotty shot.
now,
Jason Weaver.
but I've just looked at this the tail end of the season with so much pride because I had this conversation with Lynn, and I was even thinking in that moment of like, yo, I need to write something that maybe she can produce so that she can have this moment. And it's so dope because I'm like, yo, you had to have a conversation with Lena, and then that's how you got integrated in, and she's able to be the love interest. She's able to have like pseudo sex scenes and like show that older women can be ingenues as well. So I'm looking at this season, I'm just like, yes, you got one of what should be many roles that not only fit you and that you work with. Like, she fits so beautifully into the Shy cast, I think, especially with this season. But she's getting something that she wanted specifically within her career and to add to her resume, and to know that personally and be watching it. It's like, yo, this is really dope. It's so dope.
Yeah, man. Lynn Whitfield's killing it. I mean, for a woman her age, like she is still. I'd still holler. I mean, yeah, yes, sir. I
She's
mean, I wouldn't want to
incredible.
piss her off, but like
She's
she,
incredible.
but for a woman in her 70s, she can still get it, man. I'm sorry.
With
I'm not.
respect.
With
Respectfully.
respect, but like real talk. Like if she holler at me, I mean, I might have to engage in that, man. I'm not gonna lie. So,
So I love this for her. Actually, I'm gonna text her that. I'm gonna be like, oh, remember when da 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 da? Because I haven't said that to her yet, and I think I should. Hey Elizabeth Lassiter, I didn't know Alicia's so vindictive. She could want to go after Nuck child after taking her child. She could. Ronnie could be on a chopping block, child. Ronnie could 100% be on a
oh
chopping block.
man, that would bring so many complications. Oh my gosh, I don't want that for Keisha.
And you know what?
Uh,
You ain't gonna like this, Kofi, but I'm finna go here.
okay.
Because y'all didn't open up the can of worms. So if Alicia goes after Ronnie and succeeds,
Mm-hmm.
and Keisha is currently pregnant with, hey Demarcus, well, thank you for the super chat. I was glad to see Rotimi Dre Charles in the shot. We're gonna talk about him. We're gonna talk about him. But okay, we are. Keisha's pregnant with Emmett's baby. Okay. Alicia
Mm-hmm.
kills Keisha's baby, who is also Nuck's baby.
Yep.
Do we believe that Emmett has matured to a place where he can be there emotionally, mentally, and psychologically for Keisha, who will be grieving Ronnie, without going at least for a moment to the, well, that's that man's kid and it's his fault and you can't compromise my kid, because she's going to have emotional distress, she's going to be doing certain things. And Emmett, I could totally see Emmett like, well, yes, it's bad and Ronnie, and yes, you can grieve, but like, don't lose our baby because you're trying to grieve that nigga baby. Kofi,
Mm. Don't make me have to. Don't
can
put
you
me in
see
this
it?
position.
Can you see it, Kofi?
I could see it. I could see it,
Which just
especially
drives
with
home
Emmett.
what we were talking about at the top of the episode. Emmett is not there yet. And we need him to get there fast because their world is getting turned up. Go ahead. I was interrupting you. Go ahead.
I was just saying. No, this is a fair point because if that were to happen, I that's when Emmett would decide to go off the rails and say, "Fuck no, that's his problem. You my problem. I'm not letting you grieve. I know you grieving right now, but Nuck ain't got no place to be here right now. All that. Yes, I could totally see him do that. Would he be tripping? Yeah, but I think it'd be understandable considering what if they decide to go down this route. So that's just me speaking for myself. I would hate that for Emmett because I know the ladies would get on him, but from a man's perspective, it's a reasonable and understandable reaction. You know,
I don't know about reasonable. is reasonable for his character at the maturity level that he currently is at. But I love it. I love when I can bring something full circle and bring it back and like stand on business about the points that were made. DeMarcus, your birthday coming up. Happy early birthday, boo. Come on, Cancers. I thought I was Cancer for so many years. Come on, Cancers. Rose says this is all over the place. Yeah, we just kind of exploring the storylines and what could potentially happen in this moment. I don't think Alicia will go after a baby. You don't? I don't know. That lady that was holding her baby in her 6'7" baby in the plastic on her doorstep. I don't put nothing past her. I don't put nothing past her. You know that's exactly what Emmett would say. I can see Emmett doing some childish ish like that, which could create tension within their relationship. I just feel like Keisha and Emmett are in an okay place in their relationship, but because Emmett is not maturity wise where he needs to be, the stuff that they're about to go through could break them. And no, I'm not trying to say it's going to be Emmett's fault because I love women, but I just think that Keisha has persevered through so much more, so it has forced her to mature at a rate that's completely different than what Emmett has.
Yeah.
Tiff will beef with Keisha now.
Point.
For sure, DeMarcus. No, my birthday was last week, DeMarcus. My birthday was the 21st of June. Yeah. Last Friday. No, Friday before last. Let's talk about Tiff and Keisha. Because a lot of people are saying that Tiff is going to have problems with Keisha now. Part of it's going to be her grieving, which is valid. Part of it's going to be, her struggling to make do. She finally felt like she was getting some air. She finally had found her footing within a relationship. Rob was not the problem when she has experienced Emmett for so many years. A man who was definitely the problem. Until the tail end when he wanted to marry her ass and then she wants to go run around. Okay, whatever. I'm going to give you benefit of the doubt, Tiff. She's in a relationship with Rob. She finally feels settled with Rob. She feels happy. She says as much in this finale. I struggled with the words choice as well as the timing in the words. So Keisha reveals that she's pregnant and she's like, how do you feel? And I wasn't really sure how she said that. And then Keisha says, I'm happy and I told you because I love you, whatever. And then she's like, I'm happy for you. I have a good man, so I'm happy for you. I could be reading too much into things, but I'm just like, girl, are you only happy for her because you have somebody? Red flag, red alert. Kofi, what you think?
Did I think it was a little premature? I mean, no, because like you said, Tiff has been through a lot in the ringer when it comes to relationships, specifically Emmett. I mean, if we mean keeping it a buck, Emmett was not a good partner to Keisha or Tiff. But at the same time, Tiff wasn't ish either. Like the fact that you want to suggest an open marriage,
she wasn't ish towards the end. She was fighting very hard while Emmett was doing her ass dirty. Now, let's not forget that.
I'm not saying I won't forget, but the open marriage thing, I never understood. Like that just was going to bring problems that were unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
So for that, I'm like, either y'all work it out or separate. Don't try and, do that because that never works. I mean, I don't know any examples where it's worked in real life, but it's like, it only brings complications. But going back to her statement, I mean, I didn't think it was anything wrong with it. I think she was in a good place. So it's going to break my heart when she finds out about Rob.
Yeah.
Do I really think he would push up on Emmett? No, I don't, because I think she's over Emmett. I don't think she's still going to have love for him, of course, because they had kids together, but I don't think she'd do Keisha dirty like that. Nah. That'd be foul.
You don't think she would do Keisha dirty like that, but she already has tried to do Keisha dirty like that? Did you forget?
No, I'm saying right at this moment now, under the guise of she doesn't know it's what happened to Rob yet, but like right now, I don't think so.
Right, but that's my point. My point is like she's doing it under the guise that she still has Rob, but once she finds that out, do we see her revert back to old Tiff?
Maybe, but but Emmett isn't gonna fall for it, so I don't see the point.
Oh yeah, of course. People don't just try things because they know it's gonna land. They take their shot because they want to shoot that hoe. Thank you so much, DeMarcus, for the birthday super chat. I appreciate it. Just Dale says Tiff and Emmett are both immature. That's why they couldn't work and did great with the mature, emotional, intelligent partners. Yes, Rob was such a godsend for Tiff, and she was finna ruin that. Um,
Because Rob was a chill dude, man. Like I said, I'm kind of like a Rob. Now, I don't smoke weed, but I'm very even keeled, chill. Things don't really get to me, and I'm not so high strung. And it just, man, Iman Shumpert did a great job portraying that character. And
yeah, he did.
I mean,
Monica M
great
says I
transition
can.
from him to. I was just gonna say, great transition from NBA player to actor. So that's good on him. So yeah.
Monica. He's also in them this season, the second season
Oh,
of them with
okay.
Luke James.
Oh yeah,
Um, but
Trey.
Monica M says I can see her bouncing little Ronnie in her arms and talking about this is your dad's fault. Ooh, I don't think she has taken him out, but just kidnap him. Okay, I can see that. I can see that. Lord, Alicia would be the new Douda if she kills Ronnie. If she kills Ronnie, she will 100% be the new Douda. Yeah, Jess Danielle says, yeah, she's only happy because she has a man. Rob is the only reason she got over Emmett and Keisha being together. And even with that, like this season, she still showed signs of jealousy. Keisha be having it on both sides because Emmett, she had to teach him and had to bring him along. And then she got her so-called best friend. It's giving Olivia and Layla vibes, honestly. But her so-called best friend is like trying to fight back when she's trying to set up healthy boundaries and structure as parents. And she's trying to say it's okay for the kids to cuss and do this and do that. It's like, girl, if you don't grow up, and ain't you older than Keisha? Tiff, get your shit together. Demarcus says it was cool that Dolly Tiff mother met Alicia. It was hilarious. It was, but I also feel like they was doing that for a specific reason. And I'm like, how are they gonna use her next season? Hey, your queen Yolanda. She said, I thought the same thing. She was apprehensive and took a second to answer the question only because she had a good man. It may be dicey. She would do Keisha like that. Her and Emmett would do that. Ooh, you believe Emmett would do that? Now listen. We didn't already started to pontificate on the potential scenarios, right? So if Emmett is pissed at Keisha for grieving Nuck's baby being gone, do he run and talk this out and get closer with Tiff to do it? Because it would have to be a circumstance like that. I don't got Emmett like completely just betraying Tiff and double crossing. I mean, not Tiff, Keisha, and like completely throwing all they have built down the drain. But I do have Emmett not being stress test approved, and depending on a certain amount of stress placed on their relationship, I do have him seeking validation and support elsewhere, which could possibly lead to that later on.
Oh my gosh, if Emmett does that, man, I'm giving him sucker of the year.
Sucker of the
Like
year.
straight
Facts.
up sucker. Like, and
Yes.
see what you done now. See what you did. You're about to bring a whole bunch of chaos. Hmm.
Child. Virgo Queen says when you deflect back to yourself when someone tells you news or something about them, you aren't really happy for them. Clock it. Clock it. Because you're trying to center yourself and their joy. Clock it. Adriana says, so Bakari chose the streets over Lene. I'm so upset with him. He had the opportunity to get
So we
out.
gonna talk about Bakari because I
We
gotta holler at
are.
my boy Bakari.
We are. 1 second.
Let me holler at Bakari
Wait,
real
wait. I'm not
quick,
talking about
man.
Bakari yet. Wait a second. Tiff will start doing shrooms because Rob's death. It was cool to see Hannibal and Carol, or oh sorry, Cairo, sorry, in the season finale. It was cool to see them. Um, and I agree, Demarcus. She's probably about to start hitting these drugs real hard to numb herself. Christina says Tiff and Emmett are going to bond over their dislike of Nuck. Child. Child. Monica says them living nice and having money made her love Rob, and he was always high, so she's always chill. Now Emmett has money. Bianca's club is where Douda was taken out. Yeah. Ooh, so we saying that Tiff didn't love Rob for Rob? She just liked the circumstance? Ooh. Ooh, y'all are not playing when it comes to Tiff. That's where Tiff sells. Yep. Um, DeMarcus says I didn't understand why Alicia didn't talk to Tracy about Douda and Quentin's son Jason. I didn't understand, like, Alicia character when it was first introduced. I was excited to see Lynn, but I didn't understand a lot of the things that she was doing and why she was doing them. Now I'm like, okay, I'm a little bit more clear of where she's about to go. So I guess I would kind of agree with that. Nuck is definitely coming between Emmett and Keisha, not because Keisha wants him. It's because he's going to be a constant line stepper and crosser. Ooh. The crazy thing is I don't feel like from the moment that we got to know Ronnie was Nuck's son, I don't feel like Nuck was crossing lines. Aside from like he wanted to buy something and they told him not to. But then even that, he like didn't do it. And he listens to Keisha. I think, but me, the thing when it comes to Nuck, Keisha, and Emmett is that Emmett needs to be a leader, and sometimes being a leader means you need to learn how to follow. And Keisha needs to be the one to speak to that man, not you, because you're leading with your ego and your resentment, and it's not none of that. I don't think that's the case. When Rob bought Tiff all those expensive gifts for her birthday and Christmas, she was mad. She was mad, and she was just like she wanted time. But then that also just kind of like solidifies that point, Virgo Queen, of like she wasn't fully into Rob because she was basically like pining for what Emmett could give. And part of that I felt very like she was very valid in. But then also part of it is like, I'm like, girl, how much are you pining for your last relationship? Because this is your new relationship. And he adjusted as he should. But the way she kind of handled it, it felt like, girl, you this kind of feel like you want Emmett. And y'all didn't have much. So Emmett, all he had to give you was himself. Tiff will catch her body next season. Shall we gonna see. All right. Since we gonna keep it moving as it pertains to these black men, we're gonna go head over to Bakari. Y'all are stressed about Bakari. I struggle. Well, actually, let me take a break really, really quick, and I'll be right back, y'all. Give me 2 minutes. Kofi, give me 2 minutes, okay?
Actually, I gotta take care of something real quick, so I'm gonna leave the Discord and then I'm gonna come back going to talk about Bakari.
All right, cool.
Cool.
We're back, and we're talking about little Mr. Bakari. Bakari, all Bakari's life, he had to fight, bro. Like, he is a great example of a super, super, super flawed male character that I am rooting for at every turn. It's like he keep making mistakes, and I'm just like, ugh, but he's trying. But also, it's not gonna be enough. Bakari making the decision to align with Nuck is probably going to be something that bites him in the behind. But let's start a little bit early on in the episode. We get, I think, a really great moment with him and his sister, him being able to actually talk to her because Nay tells her to come over. Bakari been avoiding her, and this is a long time coming. I kind of want a little bit more. I ain't even gonna hold you because, ma'am, you needed the money. McDonald's is always hiring, honey. You know what? Not McDonald's. Wendy's is always hiring because we don't support McDonald's. Wendy's is always hiring, babes. You took $30,000 from Douda so that you can go ahead and spy on your brother, and you gave 10,000 of it away to goofy ass Gemma, and you want him to feel sorry? You want him to feel like, oh well, you didn't have no other choice? There's 10,000 that you wasted already that could have kept you in alignment with your damn brother. Y'all could have figured it out together. But Bakari, also, you've been working for Douda, and I don't know how the hell you don't have no damn money. But y'all could have figured it out. Bakari, as a character, I'm so conflicted in the like riding with him because he's so young, so he feels like he has so much space to grow and so much promise, right? But also, sir, I need you to stop. I need you to stop ruining your life. I need you to stop self-sabotaging. I need you to stop. So people were saying that Bakari pissed you off. What is the thing that pissed you off about Bakari in this episode or in this season, y'all? DeMarcus says that Bakari is Nuck's right-hand man now, 100%. And I totally understand. Like, one, I'm not giving Nuck a pass for pulling Bakari back in, but I understand. Okay, this is a very sweet moment. I really love Bakari in this moment while Nay and Maisha were talking, even though I don't like how they did Kevin. I'm like, if y'all gonna have him exit, leave him off screen if y'all gonna try to do his character dirty. Because to say that he's out here cheating on and or ignoring Maisha when he literally promised that he would not do that, I hate that we're having to watch the character kind of be assassinated off screen. I don't like it. And I understand the whole like Maisha autonomy and like making decisions for herself and like doing what she gotta do, but I don't like them actually sacrificing Kev's character to do it. Yeah, I don't like it. But I absolutely love Bakari in this moment because he be riding for these people. Like, y'all is his family, and I love that for him. But okay, going back to this. Nuck, I get it. Bakari is literally the one that you could trust. But also, at the time when you could have really solidified Bakari's loyalty to you and figuring out another way around killing the pastor, but you didn't. So partially, all of this comes a little bit too little too late, even though Bakari still goes with you anyway. I think that Nuck is 100% genuine, y'all, and he means it. Like, he literally can only trust Bakari. I don't even know how he felt comfortable in this house with Zay standing right behind him, because I would have been thinking that Zay was going to put one in his head right there in that moment. Zay has big ambitions as well, and he's very much so giving Snake energy. Messing around with the pastor's daughter, but that's a whole other conversation. So, Nuck, we feel you. You need Bakari, but also Bakari needs his peace, and Bakari needs to get out, and Bakari needs Nay. Now, this might be a very controversial opinion. I am very aware that I'm walking into this being a very controversial take and unpopular opinion. But I think that Nay was wrong for this ultimatum. Please tell me how y'all feel. Please tell me if y'all agree, if you disagree, whatever your feelings are. I feel like Nay was wrong for this ultimatum, but I would love to know what other people are thinking. Virgo Queen said Bakari should never threw up in front of Alicia's house, period. DNA all up in it. All up in it. I mean, he does have the. He can lie, say he was walking by, he saw it, but then like you ain't say nothing, you ain't call the police, and then why is the throw up in the street and not on the sidewalk? But that's just gonna be it's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem. And that's one thing I will give. I will give The Shy. I think that the writers do a really great job of not writing themselves into a corner. They do certain things specifically so that they can actually take the story elsewhere if they choose to. Versus a lot of other shows that I've been watching lately, I feel like they have been writing themselves into corners and like restricting themselves by certain choices that they've been making. Alicia turned into Paz from Power. Damn, she going all sad. Erica, do you think AI wrote this season? No, I don't think that. They're not allowed to use AI. That's one of the things we won during the strikes. Monica says Bakari never had family. Nuck looked out for him with Douda, so Bakari feels like he is family. Going with Nay, what is he going to do? He can't stay there. I just think that those things never work out. From a girl from a certain place in Baltimore who has dated a certain type of dude, it never works. Giving them an ultimatum never works, babes. It never works. It's a waste of your time and theirs. It never works. It is not going to do anything but create additional divide, and if anything, put in their mind that you're not actually for them and you have never been for them and you don't love them, and then they get to telling themselves the stories that they love to tell themselves, and then now your ass is up shit creek because you really love this thug, but now he believes that you don't love him, all because this one ultimatum was said. She messed up to me. Adriana says, I'm kind of upset that Bakari left Lene. Honestly, he had a way out. Do you think he would have killed him like he killed Rob if he would have said no? I don't think that he would have killed him. Virgo Queen says, I'm like 50-50 with the ultimatum. I understand the sentiment and the intention behind the ultimatum. I understand exactly. And I don't think that she has to stay in a relationship with him if he's choosing to do this and it's no longer aligns with what she wants in her life. I agree with that. But in this particular moment, in those particular words, it was 100% the wrong thing to say. And it was something that she just threw out there because she felt very powerless, or at least it seems like she felt very powerless in the moment and she had to do something. Which is cool. I get it. But it was just to me, it was just the wrong move. It was the wrong thing to do. It was not going to get him to stay. It was never going to get him to stay. If anything, well, he was going regardless, but it's like an additional push of like, well, I got to go now because you don't get to control me in this way. Ultimatums can be very, very emotionally manipulative, even if they're coming from a great place. Do I think that he would have killed him? I don't think that he would have killed him right then and there. I don't even think that he would have killed him, period. Because I really do believe that the driving force for why he killed Rob has to do with Alicia and not Rob. It's ironic that Nuck took out Pastor Stanley, the angel, and Douda the devil. Bakari will feel a certain way that Nuck unalive the pastor. And I think that he knows. Bakari already knows that he unalived the pastor. Which is what makes it complicated to me, because it's like, Was it Bakari who got sick or Zay? They all had the same hoodie on. I think it was Bakari. It sucks to watch him like leave Nate and make that choice, but he did what I felt like it was the only choice in the moment. Because even in this moment of like, Bakari, I need you. Yes, he's going out to do a job, but he can still plot his way out. And I know this sounds super optimistic and super hopeful and super like Erica now, but for somebody that you feel like has saved your life in certain instances, has had your back, Douda is dead. This is what he deemed as his way to make money. I don't know. I don't know if he has another choice. I think a great point was made of like, okay, he stays with Lene and what? You can't even stay in his house. But also Nina's running around about to hop on the back of a goddamn motorcycle with Portia's ass. So, Lene, you won't even be staying here. Yeah, Bakari wasn't expecting the body at all. Which honestly, like this part, there's certain parts of the shot. It's like, okay, I see what you're doing. This was such a like call to Douda when Douda killed Rob's uncle, and had Vic there, not Vic. Yeah, Victor. I mean, Victor ain't throw up or whatever, but it's like you pulling him into some that he has nothing to do with. He going along to get along, and it's just gonna spell out trouble for him. Bakari is 100% the one gonna get tied to this whole raw body thing. It's going to create so many issues, so much tension. And yes, I think that Bakari should get out. I'm not sure that Bakari fully wants out. I think that Bakari wants out of Douda's crazy, but when the opportunity presents itself, which is seeming like it's doing, for him to still be in the gang but not have to work under Douda, I feel like that still looks appealing to the character Bakari. Monica M says Nuck wouldn't have taken out Bakari. Her ultimatum was like she's telling him he better do what he says, like Douda did him. Bakari went with Nuck actually saved Lanae's life because Nuck would have gone after Lanae. Ooh, child. I don't know if I'm ready to see. I don't know if I'm ready to see Bakari and Nuck go at it, because that is going to be. Bakari is ready to crash out over Nay. Like, Bakari will 100% give his life for Nay. Hey, Kofi, welcome back. Kofi? I gotta mute you if you aren't on, but I can hear your background. Alright, Kofi, you're gonna have to tell me in the chat once you're actually on, because I can hear your background, but you're not talking. Marcel Williams, hey boo. Bakari wants financial stability and the streets provides it, so he will pick that over anything at this point, even over love. Ooh. Come on here with the valid points. We love this. Come on with the valid points. The body was in the trunk like Hughes and his fingerprints on the car like Triggs. And his vomit is at the scene, unlike anybody. It's so frustrating. Kofi, you there?
Yep.
Okay. I agree. I don't think Bakari tired of the life, just tired of Douda running his. Yeah, that's what I think. What about you, Kofi? What you think?
All right, man. What are you doing? Young brother, you chose the streets over the love of your life. Nay, who been holding you down. Nay, who don't see you as a monster. Who her brother says you're gonna get your heart's always gonna get broken by a thug or whatever. And you decide, nah, fam, I'm finna go out in these streets. I'm gonna be in these streets, dude. There ain't nothing there for you, bro. I want better for you, man. I want better. So
you don't have no problem with her giving him an ultimatum?
I mean, this is where you and I agree. I think that was a misstep, because whenever you say do this or else, the person's gonna always choose the else. So yeah, that was a mistake on Nay's part, but I can't fault her, because she's being emotional because she loved this man.
Yeah. I'm honestly, I'm surprised that it hasn't come sooner. But she's been really trying to step lightly as it pertains to Bakari because she loves him so much. So I do, like, while I think that the ultimatum was a misstep, I do think it was her, like, last resort. And because she just feels so powerless to this journey that has been watching him basically like struggle with his life and with all of the grief and trauma that has come with these decisions tied to him being in the game. So I totally get why she did it. I just know that it just never works out.
And you could just tell by his facial expressions when he said that, he was like, all right, bet. So you leaving me too. All right, I'm about to choose these streets.
Right. It's almost like now you done solidify his ass, because once he lose you, then like what is he getting out for?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not that he should. He need to be getting out for himself. Y'all know I'm queen to like have something, stand on your own, be a whole person before you go in a relationship. But they already in a relationship. They already have fallen in love. And a lot of the motivation that he has found for something better in life has come by his proximity to Nay and his love for Nay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I actually liked it, DeMarcus. I like that they showed Douda did at the top of the episode. It set the episode off real nice for me.
I was gonna say he would die for that girl. Like,
he would, and he probably will. And I'm not ready to watch Bakari die next season. I really am not. But I feel like he's going to die, and he's going to specifically die for Nay next season.
Yeah, I do.
Damn.
But it'd be a full circle moment.
It will.
He went from a killer to a decent human being to a guy who just wants to be loved to now he loves this woman so much that he's willing to lay down his life for her.
Yeah, so, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm disappointed in Bakari, but he ain't, I mean, not the worst thing he's done. I mean, he feels like he has no choice, you know? Well, he always has a choice, but he feels loyal to Nuck. But the thing is, I don't understand. Why would you feel loyal to Nuck? Nuck took out your supposed stepfather, Pastor Stanley. So, like,
that's what they're gonna have to explain next season. They're gonna have to explain it.
Yeah. But hey, man, Bakari was one of my favorite characters. So
what?
No, he still is.
Okay.
I haven't given up on him. Like, I've thrown Nuck away. Bakari, I'm willing to. I still rock with you because you ain't do something super egregious. You just made a dumb decision. So.
Now, depending on who Nuck make him take out next season, he might be doing some egregious things. Ooh,
yeah. Wouldn't be the first time he's killed somebody.
It won't be. I feel like Bakari's gonna have to take out Zay.
Yeah. Speaking of Zay, I'm not feeling him with Kenya, bro. This pastor's daughter. Like, I feel like he's gonna get her in trouble and like hemmed up. Like, that's coming. So
I feel like I might be the problem because the way that I was riding so hard for Kenya when she was with Papa, and I understood what he was struggling with, but I think that she was right when she said, "Oh, your father was right about me, but he wasn't right about my dad." Clock it. Like, I felt like Kenya was such a really great character, and I don't know what they're doing with her now. Because, girl, why are you rubbing on this Glock like this? Act like you getting turned on with this little raggedy ass wannabe gangster in the car. Like, Kenya, really? Do we just want to be loved that bad? Stop it, girl. Stop it.
But Erica, like you said, the girls like the thugs.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. I said the thugs with some nuance and some complexity. Zay look like he don't know where the hell he going, but he trying to get there hella fast. Nothing is attractive about Zay at all. Well, ladies in the chat, let me know. When you stand up Nuck next to Zay, every woman's picking Nuck.
Well, clearly something's attractive because Kenya's pushing up on this dude.
No, I feel like they're doing her character a disservice. It's not actually attractive. They're just trying to find something for her to do and trying to find something for Zay to do. This don't even feel like it's in line with the character development that they gave her when they first introduced her. Like, she was literally the mom, the like teen mom, but has changed her life with the pastor daddy, and she knows her daddy is corrupt, so she keeps her distance, and she's seemingly a good influence with Papa, but you so ready to roll with the damn the pigs in the dirt. And do you kill people? Girl, and I'm gonna touch the gun and I just asked you if you kill people. Like, this don't even feel like the same Kenya character, to be quite honest.
I don't know. That's a good point, but it'll be interesting to see in season 7. But going back to my brother Bakari, I don't know, man. Whatever you do, just don't do anything egregious. And I feel like if it came down to, if it was between Nuck, it was between Nay, he gonna pick Nay, and if he loses his life over it, I'm gonna pour one out for my brother. So that's all I got on that.
And the ladies in the chat have answered. So we don't know what the hell Kenya's doing. It makes absolutely no sense because Zay ain't even worth any of the crash out. But let's go head over to G-Unit Brown. My cousin calls Rotimi this, and it sends me, y'all, every single time. He calls him G-Unit Brown. He's been calling him that since he was Dre in Power. I said, Lena, what do we have here? Because not only are you already hitting on something real strong, real potent, as it pertains to even having this church storyline, because this pastor look a little familiar to me. Spot on with the casting, and then you brought the little white pastor in, and he was spot on too for who he's supposed to represent, and you exposed to certain things. But then you add G Unit Brown into the mix on some on some diabolical like, yeah, welcome me back or else. Y'all really trying to be cooking with gas next season.
He
Adding
knows where the
Dre.
bodies are buried.
Y'all gotta tell me how y'all feeling. How y'all feeling about G and Brown coming to the Shy?
Charles.
We don't say pause here either, Kofi.
No, I said Charles.
Oh, Charles.
Charles.
Charles. Okay.
What
Yes,
did you
that's the
think I
character
said?
name. I thought you said pause.
Okay.
Yes, his character name is Charles. I have a very hard time not calling him Dre. But we're gonna try. We're
Yeah,
gonna
because
try.
Dre was a snake.
What
And I
is
feel like
Charles? Lena, it
yeah,
feels like Lena said, "Oh yeah, I need some of that." Boop. She went and
you
plucked his
know,
ass right from Power and said, "Bloop." The same way that Power plucked Dre from Shy and said, "Here we go, bloop." Got y'all trading.
Yeah, he's gonna bring that energy. I feel it.
A
I feel like
hundred
he's gonna bring that.
percent.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm here for it, man, because that pastor needs to be humbled. And if he
Quickly.
can have him by the neck, so be it.
But
You
my
know,
only thing is, I'm wondering if this is not just going to be a conflict or a point of conflict for the pastor, but is this boy going to come for Bakari? I mean, not Bakari, for Papa.
oh, that's a good point. Yeah, because they want to both be the assistant. So, oh, Bakari, you better watch out, my boy. 'Cause
And
that
Papa is not
hurt.
about that
Papa.
life. Papa is not
I
a
know.
gangster. Papa is not like he a little bit sanctimonious. He a little bit too pedestalizing himself and thinking his don't stink when clearly you in a heap of it. But he's not about to fight with nobody. He's not really. He's not gonna bust a grape in a fruit fight. But Charles, channeling the essence of Dre, is very much so willing to bust a grape in a fruit fight. He willing to throw the whole
Yeah.
goddamn bowl out the window and then set that bitch on fire.
And right, and that's one other thing. I really thought when Papa Stanley got killed, I thought that was gonna change Papa. Like I thought he was gonna shift and become, I won't say a thug, but be a little bit more reckless. But they didn't go that route with his character. So although
Mmm.
he did, yeah, that's what I thought. The way the pastor's son going wayward. Thought that's what they were gonna do, but they didn't go there. So
I mean, well,
yeah,
technically he going wayward, but just in a different way.
yeah,
Scamming the damn parishioners.
yeah. There's
Child.
that.
It would be interesting to
And
see
he ain't
Charles
even.
take Pastor Tanley's church. I could see that. I could
But
see
he
that.
ain't even the main person I got an issue with. Like out of the three of them, it's Jake. Jake is stressing me out, man.
Why?
Jake being messy. That whole dinner table scene at the Thanksgiving with that white pastor and his daughter, and then the passive aggressive comments between Jake, the pastor's wife, Gemma, and all that. Oh my goodness, I cackled
Child.
at that.
They were all being messy, you ask me, not just Jake. Cause Gemma
But
girl, why are
Jake,
you sitting up here kicking up dust to this lady when you wanna go bump coochies with Brittany?
true.
And you know
It's
about it.
just
Jake and Gemma don't make no sense to me anymore. And I already wasn't seeing it for the Gemma character. And I feel like they did a world of like unworking the amazing character work that they built with Jake coming into this season. Because he kind of just feels like he's floating and doing whatever. After we
yeah.
literally got him out the hood, like got him a little bit more refined. He was really into Gemma. They have they get pregnant. They have the miscarriage. He's like just making certain strides, and then now all of a sudden he wants to bang everything and like don't care about nothing. Like I don't understand the
Doesn't
Jay
make
character this season. I really don't.
it doesn't make sense. Not with what we've been presented with Jake. So it's like
Right.
so far. Yeah.
especially because Jake now has had the most consistent like father figure in Victor this whole time. So for him to be feeling like he's regressing doesn't make sense because Victor has been further evolving. So it would make sense that his trajectory would be more in line with where Victor is versus what he's doing now.
Yeah. It feels like it doesn't make sense to me the way Jake is moving. But you know what? Wait, we'll see what happens in season 7. 7 of
Yeah.
the shot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Charles should go against Nuck. The whole Lord. I think that might be like a season 8 or 9 in the making. We gotta let Charles get settled. We can see what he's capable of first before we put him up against the new Douda. unless they give us 16 episodes next season, then they have a little bit more time to do that stuff. You think Charles might be king his baby for if Charles is king his baby daddy,
oh my God. What are
that
we
would be
doing here?
fire. That would be fire, actually.
You know what? That might not actually be a theory. That could actually be true. You know what? Ooh, and then she'd be pushing up on him, and then Zay, that would put him in conflict with Zay too. Oh
Which would
man,
then link him to the criminal element.
yeah.
Child.
Ooh, we got something here.
That's something. They got something to cook with for sure before they go back into filming. That's dope. Anything else we need to talk about, y'all, from this season of The Shy? I think we unpacked a bunch and we talked about it in depth.
We haven't really mentioned Shoddy Shad, my boy Shad,
Clown
Jason Weaver.
Shard. That's what you want to talk about now? Clown Shard?
Oh, come on, don't be doing my man Shad like that.
See, this is what I'm talking about,
I
Coco. This
like
is
Shad.
why I can't roll with you because I can't roll with you
No, this is
completely. Because you be
no, no,
riding for
no.
niggas who be raggedy. Shard is literally riding from one female meal ticket to the next without a problem. Thinking that, oh, he
No,
provided a little bit of protection, that's cool. Like, you're literally skating on the coattails of some woman. Literally.
it's
Grow a
I,
pair and get
it's
your own.
I'm not rooting for the character Shad. It's more so I'm a fan of the actor Jason Weaver.
Oh, of
So
course. Of course.
yeah, I
Jason is
mean that.
incredible. But
Yeah, so Jason
Shaw could
Weaver.
go to hell when you think about it. I'm excited that Alicia getting her back broke or whatever she need to have happen. But Shaw can kiss my ass because the way that he did Deja and then tried to like give her an ultimatum of like, well, you need to get over it and I apologize. It's not enough for you to apologize. Like you were doing entirely too much, and y'all was still in the relationship, and you were pining at the Tiara's ass, who's already in another healthy ass relationship, which I think that's still gonna blow up in her face because of Shaw, but because Mr. St. John doesn't know that Shaw was the whole thing. Marcus St. John. But Shaw, like, you are literally a clown and you were set up to win, and you literally decided to rest on your laurels. You got out, you found a woman who's actually into you, who does not judge you by what the external appearance, and you having nothing. She brings you into her home and you're pining at another hoe. Like, you're literally in a healthy relationship, a supportive relationship, and you get bored and you decide to lean on your lesser mind. A problem. This is a problem, man. And then you move on to another woman who can now take care of you in the same way. It's like, ugh. It's so disgusting to me. I was rooting for Shaw's character the moment that he entered the show. I was like, this is really dope. The coming out story, the struggle with that. But now that he is settled in his personality of riding the coattails and financial purse strings of women, you can have it. You can have it, sir, because I'm over it.
Well, I mean, I guess then there's nothing much more to discuss. I'll rock with you though, Jason Weaver, man. I'm a fan of your work. Like from The Lion King and your joint with Chingy. I bump that every day, so no shade to you, brother.
All shade to shot. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but Jason Weaver, yes sir.
Jill Marie
I feel
Jones'
like
character.
Jason.
What's next for Bianca? I think Bianca is like second in command to Alicia. I think Alicia's gonna lean heavily on her, but I think next season is gonna be pivotal for Alicia to differentiate if they're actually friends or if she's literally only using her as like a transactional relationship as well, because I could see Bianca backstabbing Alicia if she gets the opportunity, because Alicia will be weak next season and grieving Rob's death.
What about Douda's ex-wife? That character. What do you think is gonna happen with
I feel
her?
like she's a waste, honestly. Like, I don't. She pops up at the most weird times. They gave her this side quest ass storyline to fall in love with this deaf woman, love inclusivity and all that, but her character's inconsequential. So your deaf girlfriend who wants a gun to shoot at random people who follow y'all is inconsequential as well. I don't understand it, and I don't see anything for her. Like, every time that she popped up, I was like, oh, okay, I actually forgot about you. If anything, she gonna create some issue for Emmett, and like getting businesses transferred into his name, and like maybe Emmett's gonna take a trip to Harlem to go see that business and learn that it ain't what Douda was saying it was or whatever, and she might be tied to that. I don't know. At one point she was linked to the like youth center and was like very integrating a lot with like Tracy as a character, but we haven't seen her throughout the rest of the season, as well as Trig. We haven't seen her actually deal with Trig. So I don't honestly know what is going to happen with Douda's ex-wife, because they have used her so sparingly and so weirdly that it doesn't make sense to me a lot.
Oh, this is one thing I didn't even consider. Now that Nay's going to move back with her brother, you think what's Vic Mensa's character's name? Oh shoot, what is it?
I don't remember, but go ahead.
You think he's gonna have a part in what's gonna happen with Nuck? I mean, he said he don't want to be a thug anymore, but who's to say they couldn't get in trouble or like her life in danger and he'd have to step in. Do
I
you
think
think
he's
they would
only
do it?
coming after Nuck if Nuck come after Nay. If Nuck don't bother him, he's not stepping in to save Bakari. I don't see that happening, no matter how bad Nay begs.
Dang. So even if Nate asked him, he wouldn't do it. I
Hell
mean,
no. And he would be right to not do it.
okay.
Jamal, his character's name is Jamal.
Jamal. Okay. I mean, I thought he'd do anything for his sister, but all right.
Anything but go back to jail behind some bullshit. And he already warned you about this little thug. He already told you what it was going to be, and you told him and it wasn't. And now look. Now you want me to go back to jail because it's exactly what I told you? I'm not doing a goddamn thing. Have your ass home by 11:30. That's all I got for you.
Well, all right. Well then, I guess that's it. Overall, season was all over the place, but I enjoyed it. So it's
Yeah,
like can't wait for the seventh season.
for sure.
Dang, I miss my boy Kevin. uh,
Okay, y'all don't
dang,
want to hear this, but I'm going to say it. It's sad that Rob is gone, but him dying is the thing that leveled up the season and leveled up the story going forward. Because his character was not actually necessary.
okay,
He is more
that's
impactful in death than he would have been alive.
interesting. All right. I mean,
And also, Kevin, legacy wise, we miss you, cool. Kevin wasn't doing a damn thing either. So, you can stay where you at. Are you overheating, Kofi? Did he leave? Kofi, you left? Kofi said, I'm not dealing with Erica's shit.
all right. I didn't like the way they shaded Kevin. He's not here to defend himself. Like, I'm supposed to believe that he don't care about Maisha no more.
Right, I said that. I think you might have been gone while I said that. But yeah, I said that right before we started
Yeah, I
talking
just
about Bakari. They
yeah,
doing him
and
wrong in that regard. But his character don't need to come back.
yeah. All right. Well, that's
Great,
it then.
like I love the actor, but his character wasn't doing anything. Rob character, aside from being solid and healthy, he's not doing anything. And these are dramas, so things gotta move along. But thank you so much, Kofi, for adding your thoughts. Appreciate it as always.
Yeah, no problem, man. It'll be a while till next live because unless you're going live again for Power on
Yes, I'm gonna
Friday.
start going live on Fridays for Power.
All right, cool. Then I
And
can't
and
wait
then All
for.
American. I still have two more All American live. So
Yeah, that's true, but there's no All American episode this week. They're on a break, so
Oh, really? Oh, God. Why are you
Yeah,
dragging this shit out? All
yeah,
right.
yeah,
Well, I might go to the
yeah.
damn beach. All right, great. Um, all right. See you next week then.
See ya.
Demarcus says, can you see Rashad unalive Bakari over Rob's death? Hmm. Yes, because he's a soldier for Alicia. And if she calls for everybody under Nuck to fall, then Bakari's just going to be on that list. But, wait, why is that showing up like that? That's so weird. Is that too... Oh. That's why. Let me mute that. Okay. But I don't know if that would be his like first go to. And I think that he would feel bad about having to do it. But I don't think that they're gonna go that route. Like I think that a more not that Shaw isn't important, but I feel like a more important character is gonna wind up having to take out Bakari if they kill Bakari. What about Damien, Emmett's brother? What about him? I think that he's gonna get Emmett's help. Maybe he gonna get Jackie Long's character fired. I don't know. I don't really have many thoughts about Damien because I feel like Damien was just thrown in there midway through. I agree with you on your take about Rob's death. It's just sad for Tiff. It is sad for Tiff. That's what I said about Rob in the chat earlier. Oh, you did? I missed it. I'm sorry. I haven't said it publicly. I'm gonna tweet it out, and then people gonna come for me and be so pissed. But like, I really like the Rob character. However, him dying changes a lot of things and takes this whole series up a notch. Him staying alive don't do that. Just the answers I like Kevin a lot. They did his character so dirty. Unlike Ahmad Bakari, he was the best actor out of the kids. Until Bakari. Yeah. I agree. But you know, he got that Moonlight background, honey. Loved him since then. Kevin has outgrown them ninjas. He's tasted a new life and said bye. Yeah, his character wasn't really doing much. I think it's something to be said about actors who want to leave series once their characters have hit a plateau, you know. DeMarcus, I have not caught up with the family business, but they're about to have a new season, and I thought I was going to try to catch up, but I'm so behind. Like, I think I've only watched the first season, and this is like season 5, so I feel very overwhelming in trying to catch up, but I kind of want to and talk about it, but we'll see, because there's so much hotness. Like, I'm about to watch House of the Dragon tonight, and I got breakdowns that I owe y'all for that. Like, it's just so much great content. Remember Shaw was mentoring Bakari. Yeah. And he can be pissed that he has something to do with it. Damien was supposed to replace Kevin. It didn't land that way. It really did not land that way. All right, y'all. I'm about to get out of here. Thank you so much for joining me for this live. We were able to unpack everything that we needed to unpack with the Shy season finale. It was a stunning, amazing, dope season finale. Like I said, it really wrapped up a lot of the storylines and pulled together a lot of those loose strings from over the course of the entire season, which felt a little ill-paced and very ill-paced. So shout out to Lena and everybody involved for the phenomenal season finale. I'm definitely looking forward to season 7. I will still be making the Shy videos, expounding upon some of the topics that we talked about here, some of the predictions that we made. I'm going to think a little bit through some of these things. Y'all offered up some great questions that I need some time to sit with, and I'm going to make a video or two to like really explore that. So be on the lookout for more of the Shy content on my channel. I do have an episode 16 breakdown up now that you can hear my full thoughts of the episode, and you can share yours so we can keep the conversation going. If you're not in my Discord, then join that, because we also have different channels for various shows that I'm covering, and we can keep conversating about that, or conversing about those shows in Discord as well. I really appreciate y'all, and I really enjoyed this conversation. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, DeMarcus, for all of the super chat. Shout out to all the members of the chat. I am going to be doing a members only live at some point before midnight, because I owe y'all that. Not Team Douda, DeMarcus. Come on now, it's giving troll. I love it. I love it. Thank you. I will have a great week. You have a great week as well. Members, look out for a members only either video or live tonight because I owe y'all that for June. Thank everybody for all the amazing birthday wishes that y'all have given me this month. It has been such an incredible month of June. So many great reflections, so much beautiful energy. I have learned a lot and I love learning. It's great. If you are watching Sisters, I will be live to talk about Sisters on Wednesday and Power Book 2 Ghosts on Friday. And at some point, we're going to talk about Bridgerton with Naya again to do part 2. So look out for the community post tab or the announcement of a live for Bridgerton at some point this week. And I will see y'all then.